Okay, I guess we are live again for another week of 4-digit MWC. And this, and to start us off, we'll be having none other than Malaysia versus Canada. I'm joined today on this Friday night or Saturday morning. I'm joined here with Sun Apple.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing, Sun Apple?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm pretty okay myself. I'm just chilling because it's Friday night here and things are good. And I'm excited to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, this week seems really interesting. We did see the U.S. falling down to losers, which is really interesting. And that match, or their match, is going to be happening next. But let's focus on this one right now.
USA is the number 1 seed, by the way, and they lost to the number 9 seed.
Yep.
Really impressive on paper.
Yeah, and here, what is Malaysia's seed? Do you remember by any chance?
Malaysia's, well, I think their seed's like number 7, but I wouldn't really count that in because I think Malaysia and Canada have their share of all-rounders, and I think it will be a very even match in that regards.
Yeah, Malaysia is seed 7 and Canada is seed 8, so this is going to be very even.
Yeah. Yeah, so we saw seed 8 and 9 face in round 16, and now we're going to see seeds 7 and 8 face off in semifinals round 1.
It's going to be really interesting, and this is loser's bracket, so one of these teams will be going out. So
yeah, and
do or die.
I can already tell, like, this could go their way. I want to say Canada has some more all-rounded strength, but like it's honestly gonna come down to like how much players fall off on various skill sets. Like I want to say Canada has the edge in terms of all-roundedness.
Yeah, just looking at their last round score, they've kind of top-seeded most of the maps except for SV. So we may be seeing a ban from them, but Malaysia, I feel, can definitely pull this through if they just get better at these harder stuff. Since this pool is definitely a lot harder than the last one.
Yeah. It's gonna be difficult. I mean, Malaysia has Australia, a good LN player, and it has J-Lai, a good all-rounded player. But I would say their depth is just a little bit short compared to Canada. It has 2 very strong all-rounders in Ellis Light as well as SVP. I don't know the other players. I think Twitch Chat has some good late game, which might come into play, but I don't think it's late enough to fully come into play just yet.
Yeah, but I think that late game has, I guess, come into just meaning here right now since we are almost done with the tournament, already in semifinals, which means there's only like 2 more rounds left. So I feel like we're ending mid game and coming into late game right now.
I mean, you have to remember that finals and grand finals scale up a lot more than semis. As in, the jump from semis to late game is higher than from quarters to semis. As in, you'll see kind of, yeah, maybe a little bit of late game will start to show, but I still think it's like very solidly mid game. Like maybe some of the tactics, like QE, could be considered late game, but I don't want to say so.
But yeah, we will be going on to our first warm-up, which is Lollybomb. Does anybody know who this one was?
I'm not sure either, but if the other warm-up is ethnically themed, then I would assume it would be the team opposite of that. Which is like the primary thing that I would base things off of. Oh, so yeah. Okay, this is Malaysia's warm-up, but I would not have known that based only the song itself. And so, okay, this is your average 11-bit song. We're just getting warmed up.
Stream.
And you can see that Australia is destroying the jump stream as well as Twitch chat, so you can already see who the accuracy players are.
Yeah, SVP hitting a bit too early, but maybe just offset. This is just warm-up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say that Canada's one weakness seems to be hybrids, and in this case, I would say with the hybrids being more rise oriented this round, maybe that doesn't come into play as much, but it's still
Yeah,
definitely a factor to consider.
I definitely think Malaysia has one of their more likely points on any of the hybrids, more specifically Hybrid 2, which I felt was just a bit more LN focused than all the other ones, with our HB Hybrid 3 being also pretty LN focused. But do you want
Yeah.
to test any of the bands early on?
Well, I think roll the dice is definitely going to be banned. I think that it's like pretty tricky for. It's going to be pretty tricky for at least one of these countries. So I think it's something that both countries might be happy to take up. I don't want to say any of the SVs will be banned just because SVs do seem to be a little more straightforward.
Yeah. I know. Let me check the SV specifically. I know the SV2, the TIDEC map, is decently hard to get used to at first, but as soon as you get a grasp of just like the song, it's actually pretty easy to hack. And so,
Oh yeah,
kind of the same thing with Amazing Metroplex, just a bit harder.
yeah. So with both SVs being relatively easy, well, I wouldn't say they're easy, but they're definitely. I'd say they're toss-ups because I don't really think there's. I think Canada's physically stronger, but so it might just be Canada's win. I'm gonna yeah. So Canada does have a little bit.
Yeah, possibly. Looks like Canada had a bit of a better score on Sugar Crash last week, so maybe that just shows that Canada may be a bit of a better SV team. But that is a completely different map. I think Sugar Crash is very different from any of the other SV picks this round. And we will be ending off Malaysia's warm-up.
Yeah.
Background is very, very nice.
Yes. Okay, so like Malaysia does have some late game players like LGJQ and potentially Kieran Chibi, but it's hard to say because this semis is like kind of on the border between when you start to see these late game elements come out. Like Utakata is pretty. It's starting to get a little bit stamina draining, and maybe even the stream pick that set the world on fire. That's 280 streams for a non-trivial amount of time. That might just be late game enough for one of these teams to take advantage of the other. And I would say Canada, but I would also say Malaysia has some good late game players as well. It's going to be difficult to tell.
Yeah. And it looks like this will be Canada's warm-up. It's stability. It's a stability map, so Canadian.
Oh yeah, it's a stability map that fucking means it's chosen by Canada, and in fact, Canada's.
Let's go. Sounds like an SV map. So
No, it's an LN map. I
it
actually looked
is.
at this when I was trying to dig up LN maps, and yeah, it turns out stability maps LN. Who would have guessed?
Whoa.
I mean, stability is also LN players, so there's that.
Yeah, that is true. But I hope this just shows a bit more on which team is better on LN. Since this doesn't look like a too hard LN map, this should be around a decent level for both these players. Or both these teams, kind of just to get a grasp on their LN abilities.
Yeah, in fact, I would say these teams are pretty balanced in terms of LN. Well, Accessia and JLI on Malaysia's side, and Light SVP on Canada's side. Those four players are probably going to be the better players on the LN. Not saying that Amaria Love or Kieran Chibi are bad at LN, but again, this is relative to other players, and they might just be really, really good. So we'll just have to see.
Hmm. Yeah, a lot of these players on both these teams are very, very good, even, but some of them are just extraordinary, just like JLI and SVP, as you're saying. And it looks like we will be starting. And yep, this is definitely a lot.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to tell.
Hmm.
And you can see Canada have an advantage here, but it might not be late enough. Or Malaysia might have a different third player in for the LNs. So this lead here, it only indicates which three players are in the top three slots in the multiplayer lobby. It does not indicate the other three players. You can only show three players per team in a lobby.
Hmm. And it looks like two players on Malaysia aren't actually playing the warm-up, so maybe, hopefully they are here, just not playing the warm-ups, just getting a bit of a more practice on some of the picks.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I actually think LCJQ might be of some use for Malaysia's LNs. I'm
Hmm.
not sure how that would compare to Canada's. Like this isn't really a good indicator because the LNs in this round are somewhat more dense, and this is only warm up, so it's hard to say.
Yeah. Only a bit left, and then we will be going on to the actual match, going to rolls first off. Do we just want to do an early prediction on the rolls? Any thoughts?
Um, I can't. I'm not accurate. I can't predict better than coin toss, so I'll just have to. I can only predict the bands, and as I've said, dice is probably up there for what a team is going to ban. If a team isn't confident on elements, then roll the dice would be something to ban, just based on its all-roundedness.
Yeah, I feel like Malaysia will most likely be banning that. Where Canada, in my opinion, I think Canada's best bans are SV if you haven't practiced it. Just because, as you were saying, it is definitely a toss-up, and you don't really want those toss-ups if you are Canada here. But I kind of want to guess the rolls. I think the roll is going to be 64 and 81 in favor of Canada.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer that. Like my predictions are ASS.
Hey, I'm gonna be honest, I've never gotten close. So it's alright. Ability map equals LN. And yeah, we can be going back to this map pool while we wait for these rolls to come in, which they should be coming in soon. But as you were saying, that Rice 2 being very, very just stream heavy in general. But a lot of the other Rices are definitely hard. I know Amy's Grave and QE are very, very difficult. So I think that'll be a lot more based on physicality for either of these teams. And I think Canada may have a better physical there.
Yeah, it's hard to say once again.
Mike, it looks like rolls have come, but the turning line is being a bit slow. Malaysia does win with the 12. Canada rolling a 6. So it will be Canada's ban first, and let's see what they'll be rolling. Or what they'll be banning. And these are extremely low rolls here. I would have never guessed this.
Yeah, so with the rules aside, I'm now going to want to see what Canada bans. And like, despite Canada's advantage, I still want to say like this might be a good ban, just to remove. But they're gonna ban the stream pick. That is also fair because
Yeah.
if Canada's weakness is streams, then set the world on fire.
Yeah, that definitely is a pick if you aren't too confident on streams. Then it's pretty easy to just get a free ban there since that map is actually pretty hard to just play in general. I found myself getting a lot of misses in just the map in general with just all the mini jacks layered inside of the streams, and we'll be waiting on Malaysia's ban.
I guess I could also see Malaysia banning something like QE, which is quite techy. But okay, they're gonna ban Ultraviolet, so that's like probably more of an accuracy battle. So maybe Malaysia might just want to like get that accuracy thing out of the way. Yeah.
Both these
So
bans
yeah.
definitely make a bit of sense.
You might be seeing something over the weekends where Ultraviolet just doesn't really get kicked that much, kind of similar to how Pig.
Yeah. So we'll be waiting on Malaysia's pick here. Do you have any thoughts on just what they should start off on right now?
That's a hard pick.
Yeah.
I want to say Malaysia's better on the hybrids, but that's just it's really hard because these teams are kind of balanced. Like Canada's a little bit better on some things, but I also want to say like Malaysia isn't worse at most things.
Oh, they're just gonna start off on Maisie Metroplex.
That's an interesting pick.
I kind of like it since you don't really give too much of information on any of the other maps, just because how LSVs are with how it's really just depending on how much you practice them. So hopefully Malaysia has practiced them.
Yeah, so if Malaysia wins this, if they pick this and win this, then Canada won't know which category to avoid. That's kind of the advantage of what picking SV does, just to clarify.
This looks like the team for both these players, or both these teams, the roster.
Yeah, so Seishio came in for Kieran Shigi. So this seems to be the roster for. It seems to be the optimal roster, the optimal SV roster for both of these teams.
Going into the map now. CP having a bit of a struggle to get it.
Yeah, and client issues aside, I will say the most difficult part of this map is getting good 200 count. It's quite easy to FC, honestly, but so the difficulty really does become the 200 count, which is something that I would say is quite unique in SV maps. It's not something that you'll see a ton, which is part of why I really like this pick. And map as a whole. It's not really risky in current positions. Team wins over another, it will be based off of that. If everyone doesn't miss.
That's the goal. But I feel like we may just see a miss on any one of the sledgehammer sections. Maybe just getting somebody off guard catching.
Yeah, I mean, you can drop a couple of late 100s in some of those pause sections, but with some practice, it should not be so hard to time. And I bet that both of these teams have practiced SV.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird if they didn't, especially with how far we are into the tournament. It looks like the issue is settled, so we will just be waiting on the next start command. Client issues are very common here in RC.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was a disconnection or something else, but it looks like we'll be getting started shortly. But yeah, I was definitely not expecting a double Rise ban for these, but it kind of makes sense in retrospect because but you know, it's maybe something that I wouldn't have predicted. Like,
Yeah. Okay. They should be getting ready right now.
cool.
Right. Here we go. Map 1, try 2.
And there's an
That
early
it?
miss from JLI,
Wait.
unless that was a client.
I think that second one was just a miss. That's very bad.
Yeah, well, thankfully there are enough notes for both teams to have some rope to hang themselves with. So I don't think it's going to mean too much going into the start.
I mean, if all of Canada... Oh, wait, never mind. Well, Twitch chat messing up on this section.
Yeah, JLI actually FC'ing through that, and actually Twitch chat having disadvantage. It looks like Satio Light is going to be carrying Malaysia as all of Canada drops below 99, and in fact, everybody in the lobby is below 99 except Satio Light.
Yeah, that's very, very good act, just in
And
general.
everybody was dropping 200s there, but Satio Light maintains their stance above 99%. Going into the second half, this is kind of where the tricks kind of start. Well, there are tricks before that, but you'll see some more tricks here. And you're going to see another these stutter sections, and everybody's dropping, and Aubrey Jello actually misses there, so that means Malaysia's going to have a huge advantage going into the squad section.
Yeah, Malaysia just having the advantage is very bad for Canada. Canada may need a few drops from Malaysia if they want to take this, since we are only half or a quarter left. And it's not looking like that's happening anytime soon. With Twitch chat missing, it's just going to make the lead go over to Malaysia even more.
Yeah, so Twitch chat and Amaria Love missing is going to give Malaysia a very significant advantage right now. And going into this ending section, I don't really see any place Malaysia could mess up unless it's one of those single locations. But even then, it would just be something 200s.
Yeah, there's a lot of leeway too on Malaysia, just with everybody FCing, except for JLI with those early misses. And Satoi has a very good accuracy, keeping his 99 throughout the entire map.
And I think that was a finish. JLI did not disconnect. That's a win for Malaysia. JLI and Obsessia getting both 942k. And Satio Light leading the lobby with 977, SVP not too far behind with 965.
Mm-hmm. So pretty in the lead for Malaysia there. But we will be going on to Canada's pick, so they can definitely tie it up once again, or go back to being tied.
Yeah, at least Canada knows not to pick the other SV, but it's going to be hard to see what Canada will want to pick. Because again, these are two teams with skill sets in all three areas, but it's going to be what sort of skill sets in each of these three areas boils down to. Like, you can say that Malaysia and Canada both have rice skill, but that's not descriptive enough when there are 6 rice maps that are testing very different things.
Yeah.
And you can say the same for the LMs. So, I mean, they all test very different things.
I don't think we've talked too much about any of the other LMs besides Roll the Dice. So I guess we can right now. Poison Kaleidoscope is definitely a very release heavy. Not as much as Roll the Dice. I feel like Poison Kaleidoscope is decently easy to act. Just being able to focus on it completely isn't too easy. And then Jin no Kaze is pretty speed oriented, I guess.
It's a density map. Yes, it is.
Yep.
It's pretty simple.
And they do.
Yeah, okay, so Canada's going to be going for Jin Okaze, and I think this is just going to come down to how well Malaysia and Canada's third players will go. So, yeah, Canada definitely has some good LN density players with Bite and SVP. And Malaysia is same with Oxesia and J-Lai. It might just come down to the third. I'm not sure.
Like somebody just left making Chioki come in. Let me check exactly. Toy Light leaves for Chioki.
Seishio did leave, and Choki's coming in. That's a name that I haven't seen. Usually it's LCJQ coming in for the LN, so this is going to be an interesting matchup.
Maybe they've just been practicing it a bit more, unlike other weeks, or they're just better on the later game LNs.
In the fun. You can just call it Silver Wind because that's what most people call it, but
what? That's what they call it. Wait, is it just Silver Wind in English?
Yeah, it's so there's actually a really old file for this on Stepmania. If you have Stepmania downloaded and you have Nuclear Blast Jumpstream 4, there's a really old sim file for this.
This is good to know. I will now no longer be mispronouncing it. Oh. Yeah, it's currently stuck.
Somebody's stuck? Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, I think Jay is back. Let's go. Hopefully we should be starting soon now.
Yeah, keep in mind we saw a double SDG for Canada on Atomic Trigger last week, so this could be something that Canada's just really good at and might outclass Malaysia.
Yeah, there has to be a reason why they did it, so definitely could be because of that. I think that Canada will definitely be quite confident on this pick, hopefully. Looks like they should be starting very soon. Yep, here they are. This map, I just noticed, is very, very short compared to a lot of the pool only being a minute 50 or a minute 40.
Yeah, that's kind of the norm with density picks. Like, it just throws everything all at you in a span of less than 2 minutes. Like something like the Stage 5 qualifier for MWC, that's like 2.5 minutes, and that's like already considered long for such picks because it feels a lot longer than 1 minute and 44 seconds.
Looks like Canada having a bit of a early accolade here.
Yeah, so SVP and Amri Love both above 99.6, but just as I say that, Amri Love is going to miss, and that might be bad in a short map like this, but there are over 2,000 hits in this map, so maybe Canada can take it back on accuracy. It's worth noting that Malaysia's act is also quite solid, so Amri Love missing again is not going to do any good for Canada.
yeah, Amari wasn't able to get back to that 400 combo, so Malaysia's lead is just going to be increasing very rapidly here. And unless Malaysia's going to break, this will be very, very easy for them to take just many early break points in series. Only 1 point left, and their axe is actually pretty good. I was by having the lowest axe in the lobby right now. But
yeah, I'm just going to say a Choki misses, so that's going to bring the score really close, and Canada might just avoid giving away breakpoint, and his Choki misses again. Canada might just take this, green at 1-all, but it's and J-Line misses, taking a brutal call block. Except call block so even exist, so that was just like 4 or 5 minutes. So that was a last-minute giveaway to Canada right at the very end. It looks like Malaysia had that lead, but just got a little nervous.
Yeah, that was very, very good off of Canada, just being able to hold that combo. It looks like Amari, both their misses are going to be just slider breaks.
And what are those scores from Oxessia and SVP? Both 989k. Those are quite impressive.
Only like 20 points off, dude. My god.
Literally neck and neck with each other.
Well, we will be seeing another tied game going on to Malaysia's pick. They could definitely go for SVP2 if they practice it quite a bit, but also, I think, oh, yeah.
Malaysia is going for SVP2.
Well, the memo SV.
I would say both of these are reading oriented, but okay, base battle has some MMO elements. Asymmetrical, you can probably cite after it's a lot harder. There's a little bit of give and take.
It looks like Jaylee's internet is just having a bit of problems, and that's why the last map took a bit to start. So hopefully everything's all finished here, and it'll be a bit quicker. And are they going to be having the same lineup as they did before? It looks like it. We're actually, yeah, it looks exactly the same for for both teams here. Looks like these are the lineups for their SVs.
Yeah, so we're gonna be starting pretty soon.
Oh, and as you say that, we are starting now.
And it's probably Malaysia's point based on what I saw, but who knows?
JLI luckily not breaking on this intro, but does have a bit of an axe deficit.
Yeah, so I wouldn't really make anything of this beginning. Most of the difficult SVs are going to be concentrated in the second half. So that slow jam you saw, that is not the most difficult thing in the world.
Yep.
We're going to be seeing some of the more difficult SVs come up in the build-up, as everybody's hit that LNSV. But the build-up isn't here yet. Malaysia having a small lead in accuracy, but it doesn't seem to be too much. But Twitch chat on that slow jam is something that you do have to memorize and check. You have practice.
And here's another.
We're going to see how Canada does on this build-up as well as Malaysia. This is kind of where some memo begins, and everybody hits that, and there's going to be some more memo on these LNs, and the memo just keeps on going, but both of these players hit it, and I see if any of the players miss. J-Light taking a couple of 200s, but it doesn't seem to be so bad for Malaysia.
Yeah, Malaysia just keeping this lead, just taking that miss from Twitch chat and making it worse with Oxy, taking quite a bit of 100s there. And here
yeah, those were a couple of 200 of 100 from Accessia and or J-Li, and that's going to give Canada the lead.
Oh,
Accessia even missing. That's not good.
Only a fourth left in the map. Definitely can swap over. Wow, I don't remember this ending being as bad as that. Just the middle.
Yeah, as I said, that most of the difficult SVs were concentrated in the middle, which both teams seemed at full combo. It seems like Canada was the more accurate team on that, but despite Seishio having the better accuracy, it looks like Canada will take this unless a major fluke happens. There doesn't seem to be too much left.
And this will be the first break point for Team Canada. That is
Canada taking a break point on the
really...
SVs. That's kind of surprising, but Seishio Light's accuracy is pretty good with 11 200s.
Yeah, 981 is super good on this map.
Yeah, that is a little bit ahead of the rest of the lobby.
Just a tad bit, only about 20k.
13k, but okay.
Is it actually? Oh, I can't do math in my head. It is definitely possible for Canada or for Malaysia to take this breakpoint and have a double breakpoint. So let us see what Canada will be picking. Most likely going through that LN, just because they won it last time. And yep, as I was saying, that Poison Kaleidoscope.
So it looks like Canada's strategy is just to pick all the LNs, but little do they know that they might just lose on this. They're confident in the LNs for sure, but Malaysia might just be better at sort of LN, which is something that wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, the last map was very close. Mainly, it was just one off of those misses from Choki and J-Li, which was kind of just an... I can't finish. But either way, Silverwind is very different from Poison Kaleidoscope. It's old. Poison Kaleidoscope is is a lot slower compared to Silverwind.
I would say the release-oriented this might give it brings different dynamics into the game. I don't want to call a lead for anyone just yet, but we'll just have to see.
I don't think too many chokes or misses will happen here, but one is definitely possible on either side. Also, this song is very good. I really like it.
Yeah, but did you know this song was also used in 40M2 group stages?
What?
Yep.
I didn't. Was
this
song
used?
This
was Follow Tomorrow, which was used in a different tournament, but yeah.
Journey client moment. Alright, here we're actually on the map.
Yeah, so let's take count. These seem to be pretty even right now. Canada has a bit of a lead, but Choki taking a miss, which is going to...
real miss? It looks like it was. That is not great for Malaysia super early on. But I definitely think this map is very back-ended, with just the ending being very difficult. Having to it's a lot more dense.
Yeah, as you can see, Malaysia's third player just seems to be falling off just a little bit more than Canada's third player. But their top two players are definitely making up the accuracy. So Choki comboing is probably going to be really important. But just as I say that, Choki finding a miss, and that's not going to be good for Malaysia, as this might just give Canada a third point. They're more than halfway through the notes in this song. And this could only be good for Canada. And Alcessia finding a miss, that's going to make it even worse for Malaysia, giving Malaysia even higher point deficit.
There's not much left in the map as well, so unless there's just a whole team break for Canada, I don't think Malaysia will be able to take this point.
Yeah, and it seems like most of this point seem to come down to misses, with the accuracies being relatively similar, which is unfortunate for Malaysia because this is definitely something that they could have won.
Mm-hmm. And we will be seeing Canada up 3-1. Halfway through.
Yeah, so that is a second break point for Canada. No, that's a no, that was not a break point. That was Canada's
That was
point, and they took it. But the point before was a break point, so Malaysia is going to be a break point down.
Yep. And hopefully they don't get any more of those. We haven't touched any of the rice pool, so maybe Malaysia will be touching it right now, since it is their pick. And I don't think if you're Malaysia, you want to pick any of the LN or the last LN rolled dice.
Yeah, it's just too risky. I mean, we saw Accessia and JY be pretty good on those LNs, but maybe the risk for missing might just be a little too high. Malaysia does have good accuracy. I think they are comparable to Canada, but Canada just has the comp ability, which is making up the difference here.
Yeah. And I would personally like to see something like Labyrinth of Scotty.
Labyrinth of Scotty?
I feel like that's one of the easier rice picks in this pool. Either that or rice one, Utake. Whatever the DJ Sharp now song. Piece of poetry. Udakata. Yep, Udakata. Yep, and there we go. As we were saying it. Definitely makes sense.
Okay, so they banned Ultraviolet, but they're going with Udakata. That is pretty interesting, because I tend to think of those as both accuracy. And I wouldn't say this is particularly late game. Like, it's 220 jump stream for an extended amount of time, but I don't think it's that bad. So it's solidly a middle game pick.
I definitely found myself just... I feel like this map is just the same pattern repeated over and over again. And it's kind of easy to lose concentration because of it. And I don't think the break helps at all with your concentration if you're just kind of going autopilot.
Yeah, and so Jayla's gonna stay in it, and we're gonna see Kieran Chibi come in for Accessia. Makes sense, it's Accessia just seems to be coming off primarily LN focused picks. So this seems to be Malaysia's rice roster. Twitch chat coming in for, and that seems to comprise the roster. So I'm gonna say that the top players are JLI and LS Bright, but I'm gonna be interested in seeing how players 2 and 3 are. It's going to be as much about combo as much as it is about accuracy. With enough muscle memory, you can accuracy those. So nerves play a component, and it's going to be interesting. And I'm excited to see how this will go.
And now starting off, these acts are tied basically. It has just started, and this map is very, very long, being 3 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yeah, and it seems like I'm not sure yet, but J-Light does seem to be relatively immune to misses, whilst Choki has been missing quite a little bit. So that could spell trouble for Malaysia if Canada doesn't miss North America.
these scores are basically tied already going into a fourth, and either team really having an advantage, but Byte having very good act, as you were saying, definitely one of the top players for Canada.
Yeah, and J-Light doesn't seem to have the best accuracy, but at least they are comboing. And instead, it's Kieran Chibi who actually Kieran Chibi misses. That is going to be good for Canada. But Twitch chat's accuracy isn't looking so hot, which means that Malaysia could just take this. Yeah. There isn't
Twitch
that much
chat
in Twitch chat actually missing, so that means that Malaysia's going to win. We're going to have about 32 more measures of this, and then we're going to have a break. So a lot can happen in these 32 measures.
Yeah, Twitch chat seeming to be hitting early, and as I was saying, that Kieran is taking another break isn't actually too bad for Malaysia, as it seems this Twitch chat's act is not too great.
And Kieran Chibi actually traded with Aquawide, as Twitch chat's accuracy has gone down to nearly 99% on the dot, but Choki misses, so that's going to mean the lead is ever so minuscule going into final 16 measures of this. Choki finding the miss, and that's what I'm saying. This might just be what swings it over to Canada.
Oh.
And players are just trading misses back and forth as Acolyte punts another miss. Yeah, there's a lead, but you know, it's just going back and forth. It's fucking going back and forth. I can't fucking tell what's going on. I'm sorry. Fucking sorry.
It's alright, and here we come to a break. I think if either Jaylee or Byte miss, it'll be very bad for either team, since they are both the only full combos on either team.
I mean, I think, yeah, this lead is about one miss wide, so J-Line missing would definitely make it closer. But it does look like Kieran Chibi and J-Line have superior accuracies to Canada's side. And yeah, Malaysia just seems superior on this. So it's kind of interesting that they banned Ultraviolet, because they are doing pretty well on what you may consider to be the other consistency.
Yeah, and we're coming into the ending of this map. It looks like Malaysia will be taking it. There can definitely be a miss happening here, though.
There's 16 more measures, and a lot can happen in 16 measures, but there might just not be enough time for Canada to take that. It's getting very close, and I don't think a miss is going to do anything unless all three players from Malaysia's side misses, and this is going to be a successful second point for Malaysia, which is going to make it 2-3 for Malaysia versus Canada. And
Byte's ratio is so good there, really helping
all
his team out.
All these players actually scoring really close to each other. In fact, Malaysia's team scoring within 7,000 points of each other, and the highest gap is 13,000 points, which is between Twitch Chat and Ellis Byte. That is what you call consistent.
Yeah. I definitely think it's mostly on just the accuracy from Twitch chat not being as good as all the other players, but they were able to combo quite a bit of the map. That is pretty good. If you are Canada, I definitely do think just roll the dice is by far your best pick, just looking off of how you have won both of the LN picks.
Yeah, but I mean, like, roll the dice is... We saw that Malaysia does miss on LNs, but their accuracy isn't anything to slouch at. So if Canada misses more than Malaysia does, like, might just mean given the way their break point and given the way their lead, so it's really hard to say.
And it's true.
So if you're Canada, you've got one LN pick. It's risky, but it favors you You've got 3 hybrids, which mostly favor Malaysia, except they're on the right side. Then you've got QE and you've got Scotty, which are really, really risky. And you've also got 80's Grave, which might be a little bit less risky, but risky nonetheless, especially if you're not familiar with that sort of patterning. Which one do you choose?
Personally, I'd say roll the dice. You've been pretty consistent on all the LN maps. They've been decently close, but Malaysia have been finding a lot of misses on the LN, and Turkey is very confident. I definitely think so. It's the most reliable take play.
And I would largely agree with you. Okay, they are going with roll the dice, as you had to do. They saw that they won on 2 of the LN maps. Why not pick the 3rd?
Yeah. Okay. And 2 minutes and 1 second. Another shorter map. A lot of the rice maps, as I saw, were pretty long, so we'll make up for time then.
Yeah, and with this will mean that all the LNs have been picked, and it will just be a rice and hybrid.
Let's go.
Like I said, this is a match where both teams have skill in every single skill set, but it's within the categories that each teams differ in skill. So I think that's what makes this match really interesting. There isn't just this Rice versus LN dynamic.
Both these teams have very similar skill sets. Oh, somebody rolls a 7,900. Let's go.
Somebody rolled a 10,000 sided dice and rolled a 7,900. What are the chances of that?
1 in 10,000. Waiting on all players to ready up.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the exact same rosters as we saw for the other LNs. Choki coming in, that might be a little bit risky for Malaysia since Choki did miss, and same for Oxesia. Well, Canada just seems to be having a more consistent day. So, again, it's Canada's point, so if Canada wins this, then it's not really any detriment in terms of break points, but maybe Malaysia can make up some ground if they hold their combo. And they have to if they want to win this. They want to win this match.
Yeah, this map is definitely one of the less likely breakpoints, I should say. But they are having the lead here, just on this earlier section. Just based on that alone.
Yeah. We saw Malaysia having the lead and then missing, and that's exactly what's happening right here. Is Choki finds 2 misses in a row. That is not good for Malaysia.
Yeah, every player on Canada is exceeding except for Amari, as I say that. But it doesn't look like that'll make the lead go by too far since they did have quite a clean break.
Yeah, and going into the second density section, we find Amari and Love missing again, and the gap between those 2 misses is actually bigger than the gap between Choki's misses. That Malaysia, despite having the lower accuracy, means that Malaysia's gonna have. Well, Canada still has the lead, so.
Very close though.
It's really close going into the second half, but I guess that was a bit of a client moment as Malaysia does have the lead again by 2,500 points.
Any miss from Malaysia can definitely make the lead swap, and so Malaysia is gonna have to try their best just to combo through the rest of the map, and there isn't much left to combo through.
Yeah, and this is gonna be the most important 20 seconds for Malaysia. If they win this, they can win back their break points. If they lose this, then Jalen might miss. That's not good for Malaysia. Canada is having the lead again. Daylight missing again. Not good for Malaysia. And you see Malaysia just collapsing. no ult combos on Malaysia's side, whereas there are
That is
two on Canada's side.
that is so unlucky for Malaysia. They almost took that point. All they had to do was keep their combos. But
Yeah,
Canada's consistency just showing out here.
Canada having two FCs and one. They only had one. They only had two sliding breaks from Amaria Love.
Yeah. And there goes another break point, right? Or is that just a normal point?
This was Canada's point, and this was Canada's pick, and however, Malaysia was quite close to winning it if it were not for those slider breaks.
I see. And we will be going on to Malaysia's pick. But if Canada wins this, we will be going into match point. However, there are only Rice and hybrids left, and I'm not sure what Malaysia really wants to pick. I'd personally be going more into those hybrids, maybe going to the Lion Theta.
Yeah, so we've seen Canada a bit at LNs, but can they be better at some of these more techie picks? And I think that's this area of unpicked maps is really where Malaysia might stand to gain an advantage from, despite Canada being 1 point away from match point.
Yeah. Canada not having the crux of LN picks may be bad. Malaysia can definitely sweep with the rest of the maps. As long as they have practiced these maps. And what do you think Malaysia should... Oh, never mind. Well,
Malaysia's going for Scotty. This is going to be the second most straightforward map in the prize. So it looks like they're just going from more straightforward to less straightforward. And Scotty is straightforward, but it does have some tricky transitions, which I'm sure that both teams have practiced.
Yeah, this map is pretty bursty if I remember correctly. And the later half definitely having a lot of staircases as well as streams, so as hope they have played for these first. I definitely think we'll be seeing more misses on the earlier half than the later half.
Yeah.
But this map is long. It is 4 minutes. Misses will happen.
What's gonna happen in this map? So much can happen.
So much is gonna happen. I think 20 breaks across the board. Every single player breaks, no FCs. What else? There's gonna be 4 double S's as well as 20 breaks. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's really going to be these bursts that are kind of the randomizer in this, and it's just so hard to judge.
Yeah, I feel like Malaysia is we haven't really seen any really physical maps per se for Rice in general, so this map will definitely be telling on the rest of the match. Malaysia will be wanting to win this just to have better morale, I guess. Since morale is definitely one of the key things in a tourney match.
Yeah, something about morale. Who knows, man?
Who knows? Like, these teams are a bit slow to ready up, but they should be doing it soon. Here we go. The Labyrinth of Scotty. What is a Scotty, by the way? Just wondering.
Scotty is I forgot it was I forgot if it was Norse or Greek mythology, but apparently it's the goddess of snow. I had to look this up on Wikipedia for random reasons.
Let's go. Also, SVP playing with Mirrored. Hopefully no mind block. Oh, as we were saying it, Choki taking a break on this first burst.
Yeah, like this is just it's so nerve wracking in the slow part as you're just thrown in these shitty bursts and it's anything could happen here. Anybody could miss at any point.
Oh,
J-Li finding a
Jaylee.
miss. That's not good. J-Li is supposed to be one of the more consistent players, but Acolyte's finding a miss too. That's gonna be a trade.
Still in favor of Canada though, since Malaysia does have 2 misses just super early on. They did get past, or Kirin Chibi did get past.
Yeah, Kieran Chibi taking a hit in the accuracy compared to SVP and Mike. That's not gonna be good for Malaysia, who's down 2-4. So if they lose on this break point, that's really bad for Malaysia.
There still is a lot of map left though, so it is definitely possible for Malaysia to come back here.
Yeah.
And we will be going into the stream section. They're very staircasey, and then some break. This is just Scotty.
Yes. It's worth noting that this lead is not even 10,000 points, so it can easily swing back over if Acolyte finds another miss. I think SVP and Bite are pretty consistent, but Acolyte we've seen miss just a little more consistently than the other Canadian players.
It doesn't look like anybody is missing right now. Just mainly off of these early misses. And as I say that,
SVP finding the miss.
miss.
The highest scoring player in the lobby finding the miss, that's going to be good for Malaysia. The lead's going to temporarily swing over to Malaysia, and that temporariness might be permanent. Only be temporary as Choki finds the miss.
Halfway through the map, Canada taking their lead right back as soon as they lost it. Choki with that miss is not very great.
But that lead is still really, really small. Choki finding another miss, which means that lead is all going to go for Canada.
Choki really struggling.
That third miss? That's a third miss from Choki. That is not good for Canada. That's not good for Malaysia.
Only a third left. Their chance to come back for Malaysia is definitely slowing down and Kiri Chibi.
Kieran finding a miss. Instead of double tap, Choki finding another miss. Malaysia must be really, really nervous right now as they don't seem to be. It seems to be nerves. Their hit bars just seem to be the same, which is what's really unfortunate about this. But that's just a testament to Canada's consistency.
Accolade also missing, but I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be enough. The lead is over 30,000 now. We went from Malaysia maybe taking the lead back to just Malaysia missing a bunch because of nerves, and now this is not going to be looking good for Malaysia as Malaysia on the verge of risking their second break point, which means that it's going to be Canada's pick and it's going to be match point. That is not going to look good.
Yep, we will be going on to Canada's pick here, which is very bad if you're Malaysia. And yep, Canada will be winning this by 27k. Mainly off these misses from Kirin and Choki. Jaylee very consistent. I think, did Jaylee only break super early?
Yeah, J-Li broke. I think they only broke once, but it was the misses from Kirin Chibi and Choki that really did Malaysia in. The accuracies seem to be pretty similar otherwise.
Also, LS Byte having very good at score here, 989. Nearly a 990.
Byte leading with an SG. That's nothing to sneeze at. But Canada match point. Who are they gonna pick? Are they gonna pick one of the hybrids? Or are they gonna pick QE? Or will they pick Amy's Grave?
I think drifting off of that, I feel like Kiwi's maybe your best pick. Amy's Grave is also.
Oh yeah, if you want to induce a bunch of misses from the other team, then I would definitely go with QE. That's just like miss bait for if Malaysia has Choki, but you know. Yeah, it's unfortunate for Malaysia because their accuracy isn't like, bad. The same as Canada's, just decided off of misses.
Exactly. Definitely a difference in combo. Match point for Canada will be the deciding factor on if Malaysia stays in the tournament or not.
Yeah, Canada is up 5-2, but oftentimes you underestimate the amount that comebacks can happen. So this is a pretty important pick. If you win this, if you lose this one, that might just be a morale. Might just be
Morale boost.
not good.
Still waiting. Definitely a decently hard pick if you're Canada. You want to take this map or this match as soon as possible. Trying to not drag it on so that since both these teams, no matter what, will have to play another match. So maybe you don't want to give out some information on a map.
Yeah, that is potentially another strategic side of things, but it's really hard to tell. They're gonna go with Amy's Grave.
Pretty good pick from Canada. I feel like the Amy's Grave is decently similar to Scotty, or I feel like the most similar to Scotty out of all the rice maps.
I don't know if it's that similar. With the
Amy's
misses that
Grave is
Malaysia's
very
been having, I think Canada might just win this, but yeah, who knows?
Amy's Grave is definitely an outlier out of all the rice maps in my opinion. It is a banger though. That is one thing I can't say.
Yeah, Malaysia facing match point. Canada picking Amy's Grave. It's going to be... This is going to be tricky. It's still not a trivial point to win. Like, you can mess this up and you can miss and you can give it to the other team. This goes for both sides.
Back to waiting. And as we're gonna be doing this, it looks like the other match, US versus Philippines, it will be going on. We will be swapping over to that as soon as this match is done.
This match might be done in 1 pick or 5 picks, depending on how things go. If things are still really up in the air,
yep, reverse sweep possibly.
root for the reverse sweep if you want the tiebreaker. Otherwise, root for your home country.
This map is
And
very
maybe
short.
these bursts... Yeah, it is short. I was gonna say that these patterns are like, in a sense, they're more intuitive than the patterns in Scotty, which they kind of just throw at you. These just kind of... Yeah, Shogi finding the miss though, that's not going to be good for Malaysia.
But so does Acolyte. Like,
oh, that's a pretty nasty drop from Acolyte, and in fact, Acolyte's accuracy is going to drop really low, which means that despite that miss from Choki, Acolyte trades it back. So things aren't looking trivial at all.
Looks like Canada's keeping their lead though, just the axe off of SVP and Bite, keeping them up.
Yeah, Canada having 2 players at the 99.7 range compared to Malaysia with 1 is what is making
Choki
Malaysia
wins
have this
another
lead, and
match
Shogi missing twice means that that lead is going pro. It's the exact same situation we saw on Spotty.
for a third time. And we're already 2/3 into the map. 5 taking a miss is not great, but it isn't too bad. They definitely have some leeway here, just with the amount of breaks that Chuki has been getting.
And J-Light is doing extraordinarily well full comboing up to now. Kirin Chibi also having a full combo. Same for SVP.
There's not much
Shogi's
left.
accuracy is really down. Yeah, there's not much left, which means that this is likely going to be Canada's point and match. Malaysia is going to be eliminated if nothing happens.
Doesn't look like anything will be happening. And Acolyte, still on the LN, permanently stuck. We will never know who wins.
That was a very solid win from Canada, having 3 200s from both Ellis Bite and SVP.
Ooh, those
J-Light
are
having really good ratio too.
Those are really good scores from all three of them. JLI, SVP, and Bite.
Yeah, and if you look at the MP link, it looks like Acolyte finished with 959k. That's enough to hold with 9 200s, which is good as well. But in any case, Canada will be advancing to the second round of Loser Semifinals. Thank you, DJ Client, where they will be facing the winner of Malaysia, and they will be facing the winner of Vietnam and Indonesia, I believe. I'm not sure, but Malaysia's out of this tournament, which means that, yeah, I think that's the first top 8 seed to be eliminated from the tournament.
Ooh. It looks like Canada will be either facing Vietnam or Indonesia.
Yeah, if you want to have a look at the bracket, that's going to be interesting. So if you, yeah, that's going to be Vietnam versus Indonesia. That's a pretty spicy match.